If I'm trusting God to get married, or if I'm trusting God to have a baby, or I'm trusting God for a particular opportunity, maybe for health, whatever it is, I know. So you don't have to remind me and even remind the person in a demeaning manner. For me, I would say no matter what you're trusting God for, be it in your career, business, marriage, family, whatever it is, your health, may God come through for you. So for me, I think we can do better. Some years ago, an incident that happened, I thought about it this morning when I was trusting God for the fruit of the womb, still praying to God to have babies and things like that. There's this lady, for every time she sees me, after the whole "what's up, how you doing," she always say things like, "You're not getting fat already." I even thought that by now, we'll start seeing some signs and things like that. We just laugh about it. And in her exact words, like I truly remember, in her exact words, she would say, go leave all these things where they do, all this work, this, that. Make better thing enter your body. And for every time she says it, Stan and I would just laugh about it and move on. But for me, when I remembered this morning, I just said, I think people should be kind to people, especially for those who are going through or people who are waiting on one thing or the other. If I'm trusting God to get married, or if I'm trusting God to have a baby, or I'm trusting God for a particular opportunity, maybe for health, whatever it is, I know. So you don't have to remind me and even remind the person in a demeaning manner. So I would say that we should be more kind to those around us who are trusting God for one blessing or the other, because you never know that secret cry, you never know that secret prayer. So rather than criticizing them, rather than looking down on them, you should be a strength to them. And for me, luckily, God blessed me with a good man, with Stanley. Imagine if having drama at home and you're having all of those sort of things, it would have been more painful. But I'm grateful to God for that. More importantly as well, I knew as a person that delay is not denial. So that I had that delay didn't mean that was the end. So I would say that for every time you're trusting God for something, you should have and hold on to an anchor scripture that would help you. So for me, it was always the scripture of if we earthly people know how to give good gifts to our children, if your child asks you for stone, for bread, you wouldn't give a stone. If your child asks for fish, you wouldn't give a serpent. That was one scripture I held on to. And for every time things like that happened, I always said to myself, it's concerning me. Those who know me know that I can't really be bothered with stuff like that. But beyond anything, I would say that, 5 things that helped me stay, or that helped us even in that season. One, we understood the season we defined that season. That was the main thing. And secondly, another thing that helped us was in everything that we understood about the season, we held it and we anchored it in prayer, knowing that our Father is faithful. Now, the third thing that we did was trying not to stereotype our mind to that particular issue, because remember, this is only one segment of your life. It's not all the areas of your life. So why build your life around this thing or that particular thing? You should live life beyond that. Yes, you have a delay. Yes, you're trusting God for something, but that shouldn't be all about you. So for us, we did that. And the fourth thing we did was to choose joy. Because if you keep crying over one problem, I bet you there will always be other things that you need to do. So we chose joy. Beyond that, we made sure that we had joy within the atmosphere. We trusted with joy. We did all of that. Well, you would say, it's just said and done. I've been there, so I can bet you these things helped me. And the fifth one was to choose the right people who could anchor you even in the midst of all of this. The right friends, the right family, the right pastors, like Pierre and Hedit, calling once in a while, but much more than that. When you have all of this around you, that would really anchor you. But for me, I would say no matter what you're trusting God for, be it in your career, business, marriage, family, whatever it is, your health, may God come through for you. Remember, delay is never denial. That it hasn't happened now doesn't mean it won't happen. And when it happens, you will surely know that that's the blessing from God. Remember, keep doing more. Thank you.